This is Res News and I'm Levina. Today we have a big news, and that's from Balochistan, Pakistan, where the Baluch group BLA has claimed that they have killed close to 80 Pakistani soldiers. 18 of them have been captured, and they have themselves lost their own 7 men in these attacks, which took place across 11 cities, and they have claimed that about 30 government institutions were targeted by the Baluch fighters of BLA. Now this is huge. In the morning, this operation has lasted about 7 hours. 10 hours is what BLA claims in its statement, and this is massive. Like 80 Pakistani soldiers, 18 captured. In the morning, when we started reporting, in one of the places they had killed 20 Pakistani soldiers and captured 7 of them. They had started posting videos and pictures immediate, even as the operation, as their attacks were going on. This is massive. I do not know how to explain this, because this has been named Operation Herof 2.0. Even before I explain, let me explain that word Herof. Herof means a storm in Baluchi, in the Baluchi language. It's a black storm. Matlab, it can be massive. It is a huge storm which can destroy cities, and I think there cannot have been a better name than Herof uh, for such attacks by Baluchi groups on Pakistani forces. This is the second version of it. The first version of it took place somewhere in August 2024. If you were following us back then, I'm sure you would have seen those videos and pictures. Back then also it was mainly targeting Gwadar. Gwadar is a city where they have Chinese, the Pakistani government has allowed the Chinese to have their port. The Chinese marines exist today also. Gwadar has been attacked. Other than that, there have been, there are 11 other places where these attacks have taken place: Quetta, Mastang, Dalbandin. This is the first time I'm hearing an attack in this place, and I'll explain you the importance of this place in some minutes. So let me first finish the names of the cities. There's Nushki or Nach. Again, little information is known about this place, which is in absolute desert. Then there's Panchkur. I'm so sure you know this place, because Baluch group BLA has been continuously attacking this place. And then there is Pasni, Tum, Gwadar, I already mentioned, and then there is Kharan and Kalat. It is in Kharan that Pakistan had maximum losses, from what I understand till now. And to all those who are saying hello and hi on live chat, my good wishes to all of you. And this is a big news. I thought I have to I have to report this. I'm sure by now, if you've gone through the shots we have uploaded on our channel, you would have spotted the female fighter of Baluch group, and they have not named her as yet. Some Pakistani groups which are pro Pakistan army, they have claimed that this female has been killed. They had captured her in CCTV videos, and those videos were also released by the Pakistani IDs. So far, Baluch group has not confirmed, but Baluch group had put out her audio and video in the morning itself, even before the attack started. Even as the attack was continuing, and she had a buddy with her who was a man. I hope you know that these attack groups always function in buddy groups. They always function in a pair. And this woman was seen holding the American M4 assault rifle. M4 is known for its accuracy, and most of the Baluch group members are seen carrying the American weapons. I have seen them use the Russian AK-47, but most of them wear good gear. They have American M4, and if you've noticed, BLA has different wings. Their intelligence wing is called Zirab. They have a Majid brigade, which is basically suicide squad, and then they have a tactical squad, which is called STOS, and then they have one more squad for it. Either they're divided into 3 or 4 squads, and they attack accordingly. Whenever there's Majid Brigade mentioned, you should understand that there has been a serious attack, because that involves suicide bombers. And be it Baluch groups, be it the TTP groups, they have relied upon their suicide bombers. In fact, Taliban in Afghanistan itself, they have said that we don't mind using suicide bombers because they are working for higher purpose. So, and Pakistan says that they are Khawarij, they do not follow Islam, whatever that may be. But using that female attacker, that is important, because let me remind you that if you know, there are the Kurd Yazidi females who have been targeting the ISIS groups, ISIS terror group. Now it so happened that ISIS started attacking in Iraq. ISIS started attacking Yazidi female and children, but ISIS terror group has a belief that if you are killed by a woman, you will head to hell. Otherwise, you know what their theory is. They say you get 72 virgins. Some say those are not virgins, those are raisins, whatever that may be. I'm not here to interpret that, but of course, this is one of the reasons we use 72 very often. In our post, initially a lot of our audience used to ask, somewhere in 2018, 2019, I remember, a lot of people used to ask, what does 72 mean? It was a sarcastic way of telling them that these terrorists are, back to hell. Because if you use words like neutralized, killed and eliminated, then AI tends to block or shadow ban those posts. So we started using the word 72, and I'm so happy it gets used at such a mass level today. Anyways, so in Operation Herof 1.0, most of the attacks took place around Gwadar, and if you've noticed, BLA's last year's attacks have increased compared to their previous year, which is 2024. From what I remember, there were 521 attacks by BLA in 2025, and they had claimed that they killed about 1,000, more than 1,000 Pakistani soldiers. That is a ratio of 1:2. Let me remind you, TTP, which carried out 3573 attacks, doesn't claim as many deaths. In fact, it is more like 1:1 ratio. For every attack, there is one person killed. But BLA's attack to kill ratio is higher than that of TTP, and it has remained so over the years. If you go back to our post in 2023, 2024, and even 2025, you'll realize that there has been a steady increase in BLA's attack to kill ratio, and the kill ratio has always been higher than the attack ratio. So yeah, if there's so much to cover in this, when it comes to BLA, because from the very beginning I have noticed this difference between TTP and BLA, that BLA functioned like a proper army. They carried out attacks with surgical precision. I'm not talking about their minor attacks where they target some cameras of Pakistani forces, or just random attacks. Be it their Jafar Express attack, or be it their attacks on Gwadar, there are not too many people who are attacking it. Just a few, a small squad, and they carry out the attack. They cause maximum damage to Pakistani forces, and I'm sure you remember the Karachi attack on the Chinese, after which even China was irked. China released a statement for the first time. I mean, that was the first time I saw them releasing such a blunt statement against Pakistani forces. Pakistan has witnessed a rise in attacks by 34%. If you were to compare it with 2024, the number of attacks has increased by 34%, and that's very high. Today, as far as today's attack is concerned, I saw Baluchistan's chief minister crying on camera. So far, pro-Pakistan army IDs have claimed that only 9 soldiers were killed, 18 militants is which they basically mean BLA men, are killed. That is what the pro-Pakistan army claims. But let me repeat that BLA has claimed that 80 80 Pakistani soldiers have been killed, 18 have been captured, and that they attacked 30 government institutions across 11 cities inside Pakistan, and that's huge. That's a huge number. And then they also released pictures of city Quetta, where people had come out to welcome the Baluch fighters. So I had named the 11 cities. Let me go through each city and its importance. Quetta, of course, is the capital of Balochistan. If the Baluch fighters could carry out, and as they claim that they have captured parts of Quetta, in fact they claim they have captured large swaths of Quetta. You can imagine if that is the condition of Quetta, the capital of Balochistan, what would have happened in other places. Next important place was Mastang. Mastang is where the ISIS terror camp exists. Last year, they went and targeted the ISIS camp and they destroyed it completely. ISIS had released a statement. This was also confirmed by the American envoy to Afghanistan. His name is Khalilzadeh Zalmay Khalilzadeh. He had confirmed it, and so again today they have targeted Mastang because there's a important highway running from Mastang. Then there was Dalbandin. Like I said earlier, this I have not heard of this place as much because they have not targeted this place as many times as Ketch, Tump, or let's say other places in Balochistan. This place has a peculiarity that it features an airport and it lies near the Iran and Afghanistan border, and I'm surprised that this place had not come up in the previous attacks by the Balochistan Liberation Army. Nushki is an important vital area. Again, it is between Iran, it is near the Iran and Afghanistan border, and a lot of convoy movement happens here. Nushki, this name will keep coming up in all the Baluch liberation attacks. Then there was Ornach. There's limited information on this place. Again, like I said earlier, there are about this place is in the desert, so more details has to come out about this place, and from what I understand it might have a nuclear site. I cannot confirm this. I might confirm it in my next live or in one of our posts. I'll try to confirm this. From what I know, there is a nuclear site here, but then I don't want to speculate much. Panchgur. Panchgur is another place which is very famous. It keeps coming up in BLA's posts. They keep attacking this place repeatedly. Again, this place has airport. It is close to the Iran border. It is like toward the tail end of Pakistan. And somebody is calling Balochistan Liberation Army as Asian Liberation Army, Soviet. Those guys deserve some support from India actually. Now, next is Tump. Tump again is a place of strategic importance. It's a small coastal town and it is part of Makran division. You would have heard of Makran. Often it is associated with the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is CPEC. So basically Chinese projects are happening here. And then Gwadar. Gwadar port, we all know the importance of this place. This place is where Chinese have even sent their own Chinese marine commandos. So it takes some amount of guts to attack the citadel of Pakistani forces and Chinese forces, and these guys have been doing it with such impunity that neither Pakistani forces nor Chinese forces have been able to stop Baluch groups from carrying out these guerrilla warfare against them. The next is Kharan, where I believe Pakistan has taken the maximum losses today from what was mentioned earlier in one of the BLA posts. They said in Kharan, 20 Pakistan, I'm being repetitive here, but I had covered this earlier, that BLA said they have killed 20 Pakistani soldiers and captured 7. Last but not the least is Kalat. Kalat again is it's a place of historical and military significance because of its highways. It often comes under attack by Baluch groups. Last year's maximum number of attacks took place in Kech. These are toward the tail end, and it's interesting to note that most of the attacks either happen toward the tail end of Pakistan or happen toward the top of Balochistan. And since 2024, TTP has also started spread, dropping its root in Balochistan, and it's such a mess. In one of the operations, I saw 7 TTP men who were killed by Pakistani forces, and it was written Balochistan, and suddenly I was like, why Balochistan? And then from then on, when I started keeping a tab on TTP, I realized TTP is collaborating with many Baloch groups. Now that's a bigger mess for Pakistani forces. As such, Balochistan is a deserted area. It's one of the, from what I understand, it contributes to about 40% of Pakistan's landmass, but it is the least populated area in Pakistan, and the Sistan Balochistan area of Iran and Balochistan of Pakistan. These places, in these both places, Iranian forces also have their resources spread thin. Even the Pakistani forces logistically are spread very thin, and this is why it becomes easier for TTP and Baloch groups to carry out these attacks. And like I said, I have always been in awe of Baloch groups' attacks. They carry out their attacks with such precision. They function like a military. They have their intelligence wing, tactical squad, suicide bombing squad, and so much more. So I think I have covered everything from my notes, and I don't want to stretch it further. I wanted to cover the main points of today's attack, and that I think I have managed to cover. Once again, I'm repeating, if 80 Pakistani soldiers have really been killed as BLA claims, this is a massive attack, and it makes complete sense why Balochistan Liberation Army called this Operation Herof. Herof is black storm. It's an absolute storm which destroys cities, and Pakistan is not able to control that storm for sure. Have a great day and have a great weekend ahead. Thanks for supporting our channel. If you can, like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Good day.